of the night, once again, we gather in search of the truth, dark, and mystery. It's the Drunk Turkey Show.
Big development today in the investigation into the murders of 4 University of Idaho students. According to state and local officials and court documents, 28-year-old Brian Christopher Koberger has been arrested. He was arrested and arraigned this morning in Pennsylvania.
We have new details on what Brian Koberger was doing right before his arrest. Police says a tactical team burst in to arrest the Idaho murder suspect. He was in pajamas and latex gloves, stuffing trash into Ziploc bags.
Hey, greetings from the year 3000. It still sucks. This is Philip J. Fry, and you're listening to the Drunken Turkey Show. Your one-stop for this sort of thing. Hit that button, like and subscribe. You know what to do, just like every other podcast.
What is up, everybody? Just like every other podcast, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, and sleuths of the night. Big Blue, how's it going, my man? You're not wearing blue. What's up with that?
What's going on, senor? What's going on? I left my blue shirt in the dryer. I left it in the dryer.
Just, you only have one blue shirt, Blue?
I have like 10, but...
This is true. This is true. I've seen him wear 10 different blue shirts before.
For my work scrubs are blue, and then for the EMT they're blue. So there's a lot of blue shirts in the closet.
Nice. Well, it is a Friday night, and tonight I haven't had an alcoholic beverage in a while. Well, I'm lying. I had one last night, and I was working on my car. A buddy of mine came over and he was helping me out. We ended up having a couple of beers, and I was like,
no wonder it's still not working right.
No, dude, it's not, man. I blew up my distributor.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a long story, but I got the right parts in now. Hopefully tomorrow evening it'll start. In fact, if it does, I'll record the event, and then I'll post a little something for everybody. They can see the hard work I've done. Because I've done this job probably like 6 times already. Like I just completely have to do everything over and over again. If anybody has a Honda Civic, I can take it apart and put it back together with a fair amount of accuracy and ease, so to speak. So I'd say hello to everybody in the live chat. I want to say thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a different night. We're going to be talking a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of conspiracy theories, a little bit about true crime, what the hell? Time travel. Yeah.
I'm talking about, Fallout. Yeah, we have to talk about Fallout. I just finished the series. But next time I'll let you watch it.
I don't even know what Fallout is. I don't know if you're aware, but your camera's not on. I just wanted to let you know. I didn't know if you were there or not.
Yeah. One of my girlfriend's daughters came in real quick to get something.
No problem, man. No problem. So the first thing that I want to talk about is there's a story that's coming out of Florida right now where this guy, he's a TikToker. He's a real estate TikToker. He talks obviously about real estate and things of that nature. He has an Airbnb, and at his Airbnb, he has some sort of like CCTV surveillance. And what he captured was a guy walking onto his yard, walks around his yard, looks around, goes into a shed, and then doesn't come out. He ends up contacting the authorities. The authorities go out there and they check the shed. There's nobody in there. The next day, an old guy walks out of the shed. Now, apparently, some say, and we'll look at the pictures, that there's a similarity between the old guy and the younger guy that walked into the shed versus with the old guy that walked out. Some say that it's some sort of time travel. Now, Blue, if you got in a time machine and you're the one that went forward in time and not the rest of the world, what kind of, how good is that time machine?
I would say that's pretty good.
I wouldn't, man. If I'm the only thing going forward in time, like for instance, my age, like, oh man, I want to go 10 years into the future, and instead of being 10 years in the future, I'm 10 years older. That's pretty crazy. I don't think it'd work. I'd go in the past. I'd say, hey, let's go back 20 years.
What if he got trapped and he just got back?
That
You
was
know,
one day, man. That's
a quantum leap kind of.
what I'm. Well, you know what? There is. Have you seen this movie? I can't remember what the title is. It's like 1960. I think it's 1963. It's not a movie. It's actually a series. It was on Hulu. I'm not entirely sure if it's still there or not. But the premises of this series was that there was this portal in time inside of a restaurant, and this restaurant owner was going back and forth through time. Now, the issue was that when he went into the closet, I think it was like a closet. When he went into the closet, he went back to the same date and time. Now, he could go and affect things and then come back. However, if he went back into it, everything that he did or would have affected is gone. Right? It starts over because he goes back to that same point in 1963, I believe.
Yeah, I think I remember that one.
And so yeah, and it stars, oh man, James Franco, I think it's who it is.
Yeah.
And in that movie or in that series, you can go back, you could spend a year, 10 years, whatever. When you go back through it, you go back to the time when you left. So in the pilot series, in the pilot episode, there is the owner of the restaurant. He goes into he takes an order from James Franco, this character, and then he goes into the back, and then he comes back out. He's aged significantly. He's got like a 5 o'clock shadow. He was clean shaved before he went in, and apparently he's got like some sort of illness. I don't want to get too much into it. It goes into it in the first episode. It's not really a big secret or part of the plot. And what the main premises is this guy believes that this portal was created so they can go back and change the JFK assassinations or the assassination of JFK. And I don't know if have you seen the full thing, Blue?
I've seen part of it. The other one that kind of has this kind of similarity is it's like a group of kids that get special powers and they can one of them can time travel.
Butterfly Effect?
No, it's on Netflix. The Umbrella Academy.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's good. It's good, but then there's consequences of going back in time. You know, there's timekeepers and all this stuff. It's a pretty cool theory. I like that one.
Yeah, I mean, if time travel is real, right? Does that mean that there are parallel universes, Blue? Do you think that if you were to travel back in time, just the fact of your presence, your mere presence there in a different time and place, wouldn't that alter a certain timeline? Like, for instance,
it would definitely change something in the timeline because you weren't there in the beginning, so it would alter the future.
Right, exactly. That's what you would think. So that, do you think that the timeline that you had lived in, does that get destroyed, or does that create a new one?
I would say it would destroy the old one and then a new one would be created.
Yeah, see, that's what I would think too. Now, the problem with that is, so let's just say you go back in time and you want to win the lottery, right? So you go back to you write a letter to yourself and you say, hey, the lottery numbers for this year's lotto number or this week's lotto is blah, 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 blah. He wins the lottery. When that guy goes back in time to his present time, well, he's going to run into himself there. The self that won the lottery back in time, that didn't create the time machine, that didn't go back in time. There would be no place for him there. He would literally be winning the lottery for a version of himself that's not him.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, because his life would change and it'd be somebody new.
Yeah, exactly. Octowood says Primer. Primer is an excellent movie. If you haven't seen that one, Blue, I think it's like on YouTube. It's a independent film, I believe. It is a trippy movie, and it is a movie that kind of, in my opinion, explains the difficulties of time travel.
Yeah, there's that one, and then the other one that I like is, I think it's called Duplicity. Duplicity.
Oh, dude, is that what the one with the
The
guy that
guy
played
from
Batman?
the guy that played Ant Man. He played Ant Man.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of Multiplicity, I guess. Wasn't there one something like that with that guy that played Batman? What's his name? He was just in Batman. He's the older guy. Everybody's gonna freaking hate me, and I love Batman. I have tattoos. That
Yeah.
are
Well, when this, I think it's called Duplicity. I gotta
what
look it
is
up, but it's where he like goes to a massage parlor and they,
whoa.
you know, yeah, it's a weird one. Where he goes to a massage parlor and it's supposed to be like a life changing massage and everything. You start refreshed. So what they end up doing is they clone you, and they end up, so they're supposed to kill you, and your clone takes over your life.
Mm,
So they messed up on him, and he woke up in the middle of the woods. And when
mm,
he goes back home, the clone's the one at the house with the wife and everything. So
mm.
it's called Duplicity. I had to look it up, but it's a good one.
Dude, that reminds me of another movie, but the person I was thinking about was Michael Keaton. Wasn't there a movie where Michael Keaton like created clones or something like that? You know what I mean?
Was Michael Keaton? I don't remember.
I think so. Somebody look it up. Somebody look it up. I'm pretty sure that there was a movie with Michael Keaton. But there was another movie I'd seen, and it was one that makes you think, or it's a theory that is out there about our current planet and our current state. It is that we could be, the cows to, the overlords or the, aliens or whatever the case may be, right? We're some agricultural project. I knew it. I knew it was Michael Keaton. And in this movie, they're on an island. I can't remember the title. If somebody's seen it, please tell me. I'd actually want to go back and watch it again. I've only seen it once. But in this movie, I think they were on an island, and these people were like trying to win this lottery to go to this like special place. And what ended up happening was all these people were clones, and they were clones of like wealthy people. And whenever a wealthy person ended up having needed a heart or a lung or a kidney or something, they would go and take it from these clones. And so they were basically harvesting their own organs for the future. And they found out about it, they escaped, and it's a big old deal. It was a good movie, but like some people think that could be something that's going on here, that we were created or whatever, and it could be some agricultural project. Which I'll ask you this, Blue, if you had the choice to live, and then let's just say to live as a cow. That's a weird thing.
Talking like this, man, you have to see Fallout. It falls under that kind of situation, where
I do.
They live in, a group of survivors live in bunkers, and the other ones live on top, and they're all radioactive, and some of them are all experiments and stuff like that. So you gotta watch it, man. It's good.
Yeah, dude, I had no idea about this. I need to watch
It's a game. It's a game, but it's also now a series on Prime, on Amazon Prime.
Really? I don't have Prime. I got to get it. So Blue, I'll ask you the question. Let's just say a cow lives what, an average 15, 20 years, somewhere on that. I'm not a farmer, so I don't know. Do you know, Blue?
I don't know. I think they live longer if you don't abuse them
Or eat them right away.
Eat them right away.
All right,
PETA's gonna be knowing the right answer.
Let's just take a guesstimation that it's 20 years, right? Would you prefer, Blue, to live 20 years and be fed, live on a plane, grass everywhere, taken care of, everything taken care of, you're fat and happy? Or would you prefer to live 10 years in the wild? But there's a catch to this 20 years. Is at the end of the day, 20 years is up, you're going to be somebody's meal.
It says 15 to 20 years, but I guess the oldest
maybe I am a farmer.
The oldest one documented, maybe, I think, is 48 years and 9 months.
Damn, it's an older guy. Yeah. But yeah, so
they called her Heifer.
Heifer. So you got 20 years of living on a pasture, fed the greatest foods you can think of. Family, you have your cows there, your children cows. I don't know what they call them. I'm not a farmer. Or would you
They call
prefer?
calves. Calves.
Yeah. Would you prefer somewhere around 12 to 15 years in the wild, where you're still probably going to end up somebody's food, and you're starving, and it's just maybe not the best life, but at least at the end of the day, there's a possibility you could pass on your own terms.
I would live in the wild.
You would take the wild, really,
Wild, yeah.
for the possibility of living on your own terms, for living a shorter, harder life.
That's life. That's been my life, so I guess I'm the free ranging cow.
The free ranger. I'm there on the other side of the fence, kind of looking at you like, what is this guy doing? It's so much easier on this side.
I'll free range on the mangoes and pears out in the wilderness, in the rainforest.
That's crazy. Well, let's get back into the TikTok time traveler. So this is the Airbnb owner. Now, there's been a lot of questions going back and forth whether or not this is real. Some people say that the guy in question is him. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull up the pictures of who went in and who came out.
I don't think it's him. I mean, it just looks it's getting like, it looks like he's got a lot of acne. The guy that went in.
The guy that went in looks like a lot of acne. Man, the guy that went in looks like man, what's the guy's name? The guy that came out on like without a paddle. Can't think of his name. But then you have the guy on the right. Some people are saying that they are the same person, just one is older than the other. He's wearing a guest shirt, and I can't tell you what shirt that is, but there's a something on the chest and on the arm here, so one would assume that's probably a work shirt. What do you think, Blue? I think this looks like Taco Bell's work shirt, to be honest with you, man. Is that a Taco Bell logo?
It's the Republic of America.
It could be. Do you think that these two people look alike?
Yeah, they do have similarities. Look at the hairlines, and then they both are wearing glasses, and the jaw looks a little like, you can see his jawbone pretty identically in both pictures.
You see, this guy looks like he's about to walk into a job that he thinks is gonna be the job of his dreams, and this is a guy that looks like he was wrong about said job.
No,
this guy,
the guy on the left looks like, hey, knock down the bottle for $2 at the carnival.
Yeah.
The other guy got his life together.
Nah, dude, this guy looked like he about to yell at clouds. He looks pissed off, man. Look at that facial structure. I mean, that face that he has there. His face that he's making. Over here, this guy's all smiles. This guy's all pissed off. Like somebody took a dump in his Cheerios. You know what I mean?
That's weird why these two strangers are walking into this one person, walking in and out of this guy's shed.
Right. Do you think, okay, so there's a couple of things that could be going on here, right? Obviously, there could be some sort of exit out of that shed that we're not aware of. It could be a hoax. It could be real, and we'll watch the videos. He did call the police, and the police do show up. So let me pull this down real quick and see. So also, apparently, there's this guy named Stephen A. Albert Miller. He passed away in 2018. Apparently, there's some sort of resemblance to this old guy. Now, this old guy that came out, or Miller, he had some sort of connection, even though he passed away in New Mexico, I think. But he had some sort of connection to Florida where this building was. And he was a physicist trying to work on time travel.
Yeah, maybe he got one part of it right.
He accelerated his own time.
Yeah. It's crazy when they're working on crazy stuff like that, because it is possible that all this new engineering and science that we're working on, we're at the top of our game right now. I mean, look at I sent you a video of us landing on, not us, that
I landed blue.
the world landed. I'm including us with India, and landed on the other side of the moon, which was considered impossible.
I landed there blue. I did. So yeah, you're right. We're doing the impossible, and if we continue in this trajectory, we're eventually going to be able to figure out how to create gravity. Right? That's basically where we're going. And Bob Lazar said that if you can figure out how to create gravity, then you can figure out how to distort time and space. Time travel would be real. Force fields would be real. Travel faster than the speed of light would be real. Warp speed, things like that. So if that's where our imagination is taking us, and I think that we can kind of say that we've exceeded our imagination in the past. Like if you were to go look at movies or videos or any of those things, from 1960 and then portraying the future, granted, you might see flying cars and things like that don't exist, but they couldn't, they stayed with the concept of like phone devices and phone calls and stuff like that. They couldn't understand like what Bluetooth was. Like none of that stuff was there, things like that. And so in a way, I think that we have surpassed, when it comes to technology, our imagination when you look back in the past to the present. So if our imagination is this, mastering gravity, so to speak, then our reality should be far more advanced. What do you think?
Oh, we are getting there, man. I just shared a video the other day of this project, and I think the plane that it's not a one person manned, I would call it, drone kind of video. It's called the Jetson 1.
Oh, I love that thing.
And it's one person flight, easy to learn. I think within 5 minutes you'll learn how to fly it. I think it gives you like 28 minutes of flight, but we're just starting out. And 28 minutes of flight can be back and forth to work without having to get stuck in a traffic light. And they're already sold out for 2024 and I think 2025, and they're only selling for like 150,000, which somebody might say that's a lot of money, but for a drone you can sit on and fly to work and fly around town, it's like the sidekicks. People buy them. Somebody's gonna buy it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
they've had the concept out before, like in Dubai,
right.
when they started out with their motorcycle. I mean, there was like two officers flying around in drone motorcycles. And that didn't work much, but it's the concept that's out there.
Yeah. I'm going to show you a video real quick. Let me put this here so we can watch this. It's a 2-minute video. Let me pull it up real quick. I hope there's no audio to it. So this is news about the this older guy that they were talking about that could be he could be.
In the future, this video is going to change your mind. There's so much evidence supporting this theory. This guy named Matty Ice, he's been looking into this a lot.
Matty Ice? I mean, what do you think about that name, Blue? Matty Ice. I think it would have been better if it was Natty Ice. What do you think?
It's a weird name, but
now maybe he's a Matt Ryan fan. I think that's what they used to call Matt Ryan, the quarterback for the I think is a long time Atlanta Falcons quarterback.
Maybe call himself Matisse.
Matisse. That's a good one.
It's funny because he actually made a skit on part 1, kind of like making fun of me, but now he's come around to actually looking into this because this is real. So he's been looking into this story and he found some crazy evidence. To start this off, I don't support reaching out to anybody's families or anything.
So first and foremost, this is a picture of the older guy that passed away. Does that look like the guy that we saw? Let me pull it up real quick. Let me pull it up one more time.
From just a small glance, I don't know. He looks like he has a mole on his lip on the left side.
You think he has? I mean, I don't know if you can see a mole, Blue, from this grainy video, but let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to align this. There we go. So, does that look like the same guy? Kind of have the same expression. Guy on the right looks a little bit older.
Yeah, but the hairline doesn't look the same. You know what I mean? But it could be the angle. But
It's true.
like the hairline on this guy's on the right, and the other guy's hairline is on the left.
Now this guy has this like forehead, like I don't say indentation, but like structure on his forehead. I'm not sure if I see the same thing here.
Yeah.
Glasses look similar, but that doesn't mean anything.
No, the other ones have like the grayish tint on the bottom. They're not black. They're like the clear at the bottom of the glasses.
Let me know in the comment section. Put a 1 if you think that these guys are the same person. Put a 2 if they look too different. I want to know what you guys think in the comments. If you're watching this on the replay, let me know if you guys think this is the same person or not. Now, the story behind it is what makes it really kind of crazy, because the thought here is that this guy went in, traveled in time, I guess, lived his life, and decided to go back and pop back out at that specific time. He looks mad. I mean, one reason would be he messed up something in the future or in the past and he needed to come back.
Maybe.
A lot of twos.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know, because that emblem looks familiar on his shirt. That's what I keep looking at.
Dude, it looks like the Taco Bell thing. I'm telling you, man. That's the freaking Taco Bell.
How about the Wounded Warrior emblem?
Maybe.
That one's a blur, but the one on the chest looks.
Let's see. I'm gonna pull up some emails, or I mean some images. All right, hold on. You don't tell me that looks like that, Blue.
He came out for his Baja Blast.
I'm telling you, dude. And if you look at the Taco Bell thing, man, that looked like a UFO. I don't see it attached.
Maybe. You know, it is in Florida, so he might be looking for a Baja Blast.
A true story, man. True story.
It's like they have Baja Blast and empanadas right now at Taco Bell. I gotta go back.
I actually think they look very much alike, to be honest with you. I'm not saying they're the same person, but I think that there is a consistency there. I mean, the facial expression is very similar. I think one guy looks like maybe another 10, 15 years added on this guy on the left's life, and he would look like this. I can see that. And I can see that looks like the Taco Bell, man. I don't know.
Yeah, looks like Taco Bell.
Right. Maybe not that one, but the other one for sure. Let's see. All right, let's continue this.
This is all speculative, but evidence kind of makes sense. So what he did is he did a reverse image search and he found this guy who looks pretty similar to our boy here. The crazy part is this guy was obsessed with time travel. And you can see 9 years ago, he used to post on blogs talking about time travel and how it works. So he graduated from Harvard University, which is, you know, obviously impressive. So this guy knew his stuff. He was obsessed with time travel and he looks like our guy. So it's like, okay, it's probably him then, right? This guy died in 2018, 6 years ago, which by the way, how is 2018 6 years ago? That's crazy in its own. But 6 years ago, this guy died. But he looks the same and he was obsessed with time travel. We also found this, which is family members saying they miss him and that they, you know, love him and stuff like that in November 2018. We also found this, which is the same thing talking about his death, July of 2017.
So this was posted up July 2017. It talks about his death in 2018. What do you think's going on there, Blue?
I mean, maybe he got a diagnosis of cancer. He does look a little pale.
But how the hell you gonna know what day you're gonna pass a year later?
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
I mean, unless your name's Brian Koberger, I don't think you're gonna know exact date you're gonna die.
Yeah, you know, maybe he is a time traveling, or maybe he, you know, got a little. He went to the you know, the fairground, and he paid $0.25, and the little voodoo machine gave him a little card, and it had a date on it.
Nah, well, you think he could have edited it after the fact? Maybe that was a picture that they had of the guy, and then found out he passed, went back through one of their pictures, found this one, edited it, saying, hey, you know, we'll miss you. I think you would probably make a new post, but I guess it's possible to go back and edit a picture if that's the only picture you have of the person.
Maybe, man. Like somebody said that it could be, you know, some people can get close to predicting their time frame, especially when they have certain illnesses.
Mm-hmm.
But to get the exact date, that's pretty close, man. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. I don't think it was a premonition. I think it had to be re-edited or something. That or it's fake. It's fake. You know what I'm saying?
It can be. There's a lot of people that like hyping up stuff on the internet to get more likes and views.
Oh yeah.
And I've seen this guy before. Like I've seen videos of his before, I think.
Extreme Blonde says sounds like a ghost situation. Do you think that it could be a ghost situation? I mean, maybe perhaps when you pass, you can, you know, change your appearance throughout your life. Like maybe today I want to look like I was 18. Tomorrow I want to look like I was 60. What do you think, Blue? Do you think that that's a possibility? Do you think these are two different ghosts? Maybe it is two different ghosts.
It could be, but you know, they have one meeting point, which is that shed.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I don't think maybe it's like, you know, maybe the son went in there and said and stole some stuff from the dad and he left it there, and the dad went to go look for it, you know.
He went to drop it off, but he found the stolen stuff. His kid stole, put it back, and that's why he's all pissed off. Don says it could just be a fake in the internet. You know, that's true too. I mean, that's quite a possibility. We brought that up. Now, I don't know if this guy is even real, to be honest with you. I found some things. Let me pull it up real quick, and then we'll get back to this. So I found the obituary, August 17th, 49 to July 13, 2018. And then somebody obviously has got to be a little bit of a jack off and comments. And this is May 4th. So right after this video was disclosed of the shed traveler, it says back in and around 2009, me and old Stevie would catch up from time to time down at the coffee shop. Each and every time he'd be asking me questions about my field. I'm a theoretical physicist, you see. See, he even added you see. What do you think about a person that actually writes you see in what they're saying?
I don't know. I've never written that in my Unless I was trying to tell somebody, you see that fence over there, don't cross it.
No. He's like, no. You need to talk like that, Blue. Whenever you talk to people and they ask you, hey, what do you do in your free time? Be like, I'm a YouTuber in my free time. You see. Maybe it's just the alcohol talking, guys. I don't know. Had a habit of badgering me about blurred lines between science and science fiction. As he would say, he always had what seemed to be a passing interest in the subject. But if you ask me, I think he always knew more than he was letting go on. Wherever he may be, I hope Steve is doing well. Those were the good days. Well, obviously, you're writing on his obituary, my man.
Have you looked up the name though? His name was on there, Renzo Regati or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I haven't looked it up. Who is that? I bet you it's somebody famous or something weird. Watch. Let's see.
And then make sure you put physicist or whatever he said he was.
Opportunity knocks snow. I don't know what that is. I'm actually kind of afraid of. So somebody is talking about this guy, the CEO. No, that's not the same guy. That's Chad. I don't know. There might be some kind of hidden message between that. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, look up physicist, see if it comes up or whatever he said he was.
Oh man, I don't want to do that right now. It's fake, Blue. I guarantee you it's fake. It was created on May 4th. May the 4th be with you. And he's talking, this guy passed away 6 years ago and decides 6 years later to write something on his obituary page. And not only to write something, says you see, and when they describe who they are, they talk about the science and he knew more than he thought. And then they even ask, I wonder where he is today, not understanding that they're writing on his obituary.
Yeah, but maybe he's talking about in the underworld or in heaven.
Dude, it'd be crazy if it was actually him that wrote it.
Yeah. Did he take the red pill or the blue pill before he died?
Right. Oh man, I don't know. I just think this stuff here, like, it's very disrespectful to if this guy is. I'm fairly positive this is real. I mean, this says published by Santa Fe, New Mexican from July 19th to July 22, 2018. So I'm assuming, this is real, and now they have to deal with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. But I was watching another, conspiracy video about, I think it was one of the oldest, I guess, temples or pyramids, I think, in Indonesia.
Mm-hmm.
And it was crazy how big it was and how many people would have taken to build that one.
Yeah.
And they're saying where it's at, it's bigger than the ones in Egypt. So
yeah.
There's a lot of crazy stuff out there that we don't understand yet.
Dude, I was listening to a TikTok that was talking about some of those things. They were talking about a species that created the Egyptian pyramids like 38,000 years ago, much earlier than what is expected or than what is predicted now. I think right now it's estimated at like 6. And it talks about different technologies and how they, spread around, and that there's these texts supposedly that say that this person created the pyramids and the Sphinx, and then went to different parts of the world to, do more architecture type of buildings, which is where you get a lot of the same or similar type of structures that are out there, from the Mayans to the Aztecs to the Incas to everybody. And
I will ask the Doc and Marty when their new movie comes out in a couple months.
Is it really? Is there a new one coming out?
I think there's one more coming out. Plus, if y'all haven't heard, Austin, Texas is the site for the new DeLorean facility to build them.
What?
Yeah, it's been like a year. I haven't seen any out yet, but yeah, they broke ground a while back. They're gonna come back.
Interesting. Wonder what they're gonna look like.
They already have concepts out there.
Interesting. All right, so let's go and look at some more of these videos real quick from this guy who. So let's look at this. Oh, you know what? I don't think we finished the last one. Let's finish the last one first. Hold on. 1 sec. All righty. Yeah, we got a minute left.
So this one also says he died in July of 2018, but then they posted in 2017. It's possible that they edited this text to, give him a shout out how he passed away. Maybe this picture was posted beforehand, but still a little fishy, right? It's in 2017 saying, he died in 2018, but whatever. He also found this interview notes, which I guess he was interviewed and somebody took notes of the interview. And in this interview, he was talking about his obsession with sound and time travel and how everything like that works in another dimension. This is all speculative. I didn't do any of this research. This is all Matty Ice. But this is crazy because there's a lot of coincidences. This guy looks the same. He was obsessed with time travel. He died. Somebody commented about his death a year before it happened. Mentioned that maybe the body wasn't found. I don't know how accurate that part is. But coincidences going back to this guy who looks like our time traveler. So yeah, pretty crazy. I definitely.
He goes, I definitely urge you not to reach out to this guy's family because they're going to debunk everything we said about him into time travel. I don't know if that's true or not. I couldn't find anything on this guy being some sort of physicist or anything like that. He was an editor to a nuclear something, so maybe he was. What were you going to say, Blue?
I said, plus, that he passed. They don't want to get bothered by it. But maybe I would be excited if somebody researched me when I was dead.
Well, Blue, you're going to be timeless, my man. What are you talking about?
I'm still early. My prime hasn't even got here yet.
Nah, dude, you haven't even hit midlife crisis yet. You're good.
I kind of did already once.
That's
why I'm in debt with all the damn cars I got because I got a few cars.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, bro. That's what. All right, so this is the full recording of the cops coming to look for the time traveler. So I guess this is to debunk anybody saying that he hired people to look like cops to go check. Let's check it out.
Saying the cops are fake and actors. So I'm going to show you the full recording of the cops coming, them going into the shed twice. And they even pulled out at one point because they're real cops. And I talked to them a little bit. See, at this part, you can see I'm talking to them. So let's go through that recording. And just as a disclaimer, if this was a skit, which it's not, I don't even know the first place I would do to start a skit like this, I would never waste the cops' time, resources, or money to come to my house.
Yeah, you might have a friend, though, who's a cop. I would totally, when I was a police officer, I would have totally done this. Somebody had told me, like, hey, I want to create a prank. Show up to the house, and in fact, I may have been a part of a prank or two. Oh man, what do you think, Blue? Do you think that that he could have a friend or something? I mean, they look about the same age, him and that police officer there.
Maybe, but it's one of the things where they also wouldn't want to risk their job getting caught, doing these videos. So they probably are real.
Dude, you know how many videos are of cops doing some crazy dumb stuff?
Yeah,
like they're dancing while on shift. Like if this is
get approved by the chief, there's just some of them, if they don't get approved, they can backfire and they get fired for, like the lady that was I'm not sure if you saw the video. The cop was, buying lunch, and she was like, I pay your salary. What are you doing eating lunch? Shouldn't you be watching the streets? And like, I'm taking my lunch break.
Yeah, people are rude, man.
Yeah.
People are rude. But if this was his off time, granted, he probably shouldn't be in uniform if that's the case. And there's 3 of them. I don't see a police unit in the background, so it'd be one thing if you saw a patrol unit come by and park and things like that. Then it's a lot less suspicious. I mean, it also could be just clever costume. That badge looks kind of well, I don't know. I don't know what the badges look like over there, but have you seen Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen a couple. I know the sheriffs have the green There's a couple sheriffs that have green and brown uniforms, but the police normally wear the black ones. Uniforms.
Yeah. Well, in Jingle All the Way though, there's this scene where he goes to this weird factory where these Santas are building fake toys or whatever, and the cops go in there and bust it down, and they ask him, like, what are you doing here? Because he went there to go buy a Turbo Man, and in a box next to him are these badges with these fake badges and these wallets. Kind of resemble the same shape. I'm not saying that these are the same, but this is the same shape. Police badge is normally a badge. This is kind of like a shield, but who knows? I mean, it could be accurate for that place. I don't live there. Let's see. Oh yeah, my daughter loves that movie. I know every freaking scene.
And just like we're talking about quantum physics and everything, and different dimensions, Sinbad is in this one.
That's true.
I swear I saw the Sinbad one where he was a genie as a kid.
Dude, I thought I did too, man. Well, I don't think I ever saw it. I thought I saw the previews to it, because I didn't see. Because a lot of people say it's not, man. You're mixing it up with like
Shaq.
the Shaq one, and I'm like, well, maybe. But I could have swore it was Sinbad. I could have swore also. But you know what the theory is there behind it, right?
That we're in an altered dimension.
That a parallel universe is leaking into ours. You know why, right?
I don't know why.
It has to do with the Hadron Particle Collider. So that collider is like the largest collider in the world or whatever. And it started, when they started, they started that machine up. What it does is it accelerates particles and they collide into each other, and they study the after effects of what happens in those scenarios. And they have found things that they consider called like the God particle, which is what holds everything together. They're trying to find negative matter. At the end of the day, if they find negative matter or antimatter and things like that, then things like force field and time travel and stuff like that would be plausible. But the theory is that when you collide these atoms together, that you can create a miniature black hole. And some people are saying that throughout that miniature black hole, that maybe perhaps some things are leaking through from different universes, and that might be why some things are just so backwards to what you would expect. I mean, if you think about everyday life and some of the things that have happened out there, some things seem backwards. I'm not gonna lie, some things don't make sense. What do you think, Lou?
Yeah, I mean, we've already been shown this in Spider-Man: The Multiverse twice. It happened twice on that. But I think there's a possibility with them turning on machines like that, it can affect stuff. So I say it might be true, man. But I swear I've seen it.
Yeah. Heather says, I think the day the eclipse came back, the eclipse CERN came back on. Yeah, CERN wanted to run their Hadron Particle Accelerator during the eclipse to see the effects of what happens, I guess, when there's something blocking the sun. I don't understand, the premise behind it, but I've pulled up the CERN logo, and for those that haven't seen it, it's a couple of it's three, what appears to be like 3 6s in a circle, and that has been a topic of discussion amongst conspiracy theorists since CERN's inception, since they came out, since the Hadron Collider, and the suspiciousness behind their logo, some of the work that they're doing, the way they name certain things. I mean, it's not just that. I mean, when you look at, for instance, the Vatican, they put up a and this is with our government, but the Vatican had put up a telescope, and I can't remember the name of the telescope for the life of me, but it was religious. And then NASA, I think, goes and puts one up right next to it and call it Lucifer. Like, what in the world's going on with that?
Could be somebody with a dark sense of humor.
Maybe. Well, they call it Lucy now for short.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
So, one of the things that Lou Elizondo said, and if you don't know who Lou Elizondo is, he was a guy that was part of, I want to say, TASP, something like that. It had to do with aerial vehicular phenomenon, UFOs. They changed the name for UFOs so often, so that way Freedom for Information Act FOIA requests can't be easily done, right? If you have to know the program name, and if they continually change the name of the object, it would be difficult. But what he had said was, while he was doing his work, that he had spoken to a high ranking councilman, and I believe it was Harry Reid. I'm not entirely sure, but I believe that's who I had researched and found out that it was Senator Harry Reid, and that he had told them, or him, something to the effect that, you probably should just drop this search, blah blah blah. Then he goes something to the effect that, you know what those things are, right? And he goes, they're demonic. Some of them are demonic. They're evil. You hear that? We've seen some of the things in the world today, man. You think there's any truth to the possibility of this demonic world we live in?
I think there is, man. My favorite movie is Constantine. You know what I mean? It shows the two worlds colliding.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a part 2 coming out, or another one coming out.
Is that the one with Keanu Reeves?
Keanu Reeves, yeah.
That's the one where he does a lot of bad stuff and loses his soul, and then he tries to win it back by knocking out demons. Is that right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I know what it's about, but I haven't seen it. I think I've seen parts of it.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, that comes from bad places. I mean, have you ever heard the story? I want to say it's Bear Aspirin. Bear Aspirin has a bad history, and the way they started out, and they would do human test subjects, and it'd be crazy how they would be like, okay, send us 100 test subjects, and then they would all pass away. Okay, send us another 100, and their human lives they were messing with back in the day.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, a lot of that, whether it's government or whoever. I think, man, who was it? Bayer, tested on a lot of people and killed a lot of people before they got their medication down, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm saying, Bear Aspirin.
Oh yeah. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
And well, there's that. There's also
and it was back in Hitler's age. So
yeah, there's that. There was also here in the United States and with our government, there was this thing. I think it was in the New York area. There was a neighborhood that basically the government wanted to find out the long-term effects of syphilis, and so they purposefully introduced it into the neighborhoods, and these were poverty neighborhoods, and men would come in and they would give them the disease. They'd come in for medicine and checkups, and they would be given a placebo because they wanted to test the long-term effect of it. And I mean, it really kind of screwed up a lot of people. I mean, then you also have businesses and practices and different those type of things that have done some pretty shady stuff in the past. I mean, there's that in Julia Roberts movie where she's a lawyer and there's something about the water, and it's a true story. I don't remember what it's called, but that was a pretty jacked up situation too.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're still dealing with the water in Michigan. Was it Flint, Michigan? They're still dealing with dirty water. They never got it right.
Let's listen to this. Let's watch this talk.
Taxes. I respect the cops a lot. I have friends that are cops, so I would never do that to the cops.
He has friends that are cops. I didn't hear that the first time I saw this. So he's got friends that are cops. I'm telling you, bro. If you would have came up to me, I would have gotten in trouble a long time ago, Blue. If you would have came up to me while I was an officer and said, "Hey, I want to fake some shit up. I want you to be the officer that's like, get back, everybody." there's some crazy stuff going on. I would totally have been that guy, dude. I would have done it. I would have done it in a heartbeat. I think that would have been cool. Just something I picked up. He has friends that are cops. You think that means anything, Blue?
Maybe, but I think they're true cops. I mean, because even if they get caught impersonating officers, it's a big fine, so you don't even want to pretend to be one.
Well, they could be real ones off duty. That's what I'm saying, man. I would have totally done this. like if I was that guy's friend and I was, when I was an officer, I was pretty young, so I would have been probably about this guy's age, and I would have put in like, yeah, dude, let's freaking do it. I would have, I'll go check it out. I'll pretend nobody's in there. I mean, there's nothing really illegal about this. You know what I mean? Nobody's getting arrested. Nobody's nobody's trespassing. Nobody's violating any laws. The only thing that they're violating is they're confusing the masses and tricking some people. But all right, let's continue this.
So I would never do that to the. So here's the recording with sound. It's a little long, so I'm gonna kind of skim through it at some parts. But you can see they walk in, they yell police, they walk in with guns in a little bit right there. So at this point, they're like, there's nothing there. They go to my back door to like see if he broke in there. And then this is when I start talking to them here. So you hear me talk to them.
Hey, can you hear me? Yes, sir. Hello? Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. Okay. Was he not in that shed? No, he was not. There's nobody in there. Both sheds. What the fuck? Okay, I'm sorry for wasting your guys' time. I really didn't see him leave the shed, though. So I don't know how he's not in there. All right.
They go in again.
I don't know, man. That sounds suspicious, man. If I saw somebody in my shed, I would have been like, oh, man, I'm sorry wasting your time. I don't know. I'm like, dude, check it again. Somebody went in there.
Yeah, he's under the blankets.
Right? Like he's just like, nah, there's nobody there. And this guy's like, there's nobody there. All right, bye-bye. I don't know, man. I don't know.
See, now they're going in again. And like they go in deep this time. Like they go all the way in.
I just needed to pause on that part. That's funny.
They went in pretty deep that time, he said.
They sure did. It's the long law.
There too.
Still talking.
The long arm of the law. That's what you meant to say.
There it is. The arm.
See, nothing. Bless you, cop. So now they're gonna leave.
Okay. Coming. Sorry for wasting your time. No, you're good.
All right, they do go. These officers do go off in different ways. This guy's going around this way. This guy's going around that way, and so is the other officer. So
they're checking the premises. Yeah.
No. What that means is, I mean, especially if they're leaving, that tells me they parked on different sides, which would be something you would expect. You know what I mean? You wouldn't come in at park.
Yeah.
Not everybody would park in the front, especially if you have a possible break-in. It looks like there's a street behind there. I would have parked back there also. And I don't know if that is a street, but if so, if he can sneak out the back area of that, let me see. I know it's kind of hard to see here, but if he can sneak out the back area and that's a street there without being in view, I mean, this could be easily done. But I don't know yet. I don't know. Let's do you think that video leaves you with more questions, or does it answer some stuff for you?
No, I mean, it's hard because sometimes the angle, maybe he didn't see it, or there's sometimes like a glitch in somewhere you might not see a second. Like when the door opens and maybe he walked out the back or jumped the back fence. So
Yeah.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. It is hard to tell. All right, so this is the video. Let me pull up the video. We got a few of these. We'll pull up the video of them. This is the full video of time traveler going into my shed and disappearing. Let's put it at 125 and.
People wanted to see the full video of what this guy does before going into my shed and disappearing and teleporting, whatever. So this is the full video with sound. So
I know it's hard to see because I can barely see it on my big ass screen here, but this guy's walking around like he's Popeye. Like his arms are doing this number. Like, I don't know, dude. That seems suspicious. I don't know anybody that walks like that. What do you think, Blue?
It seems like he's high when I see him walking, like all weird and stuff.
I wish I could zoom in on this. Man, you guys got to go find this on TikTok. This guy's, it's under Alex Shaw. So go find this guy. I try to get him on the show. I messaged him on the TikTok. I messaged him on the Twitter. He hasn't responded yet. I don't think he's seen my messages. If anybody knows who this guy is, I'm not saying he's lying. You know, I find a little bit of things in his story to be a little bit funny. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he's lying or not. He's going through a lot of effort to show some things. He even goes to that house and puts videos inside and walks the premises, and we'll watch all that. But yeah. If you guys know him, let me know.
A lot of people wanted to see the full video of what this guy does before going into my shed and disappearing and teleporting, whatever. So this is the full video with sound. So you hear if he talks. He does talk at some point here. I've watched this so many times to see. But you can see him like wandering around. Like he throws up his arms. He's about to talk. See, he talks right there. He says, damn. Like, what is he looking for? Like, he's being super mysterious. And then he goes into the shed. So he's wandering around, then goes into the shed and closes the door there. So just for reference, this is what my backyard looks like. It is an Airbnb. I live 5 hours away. I can't go there and give you guys a tour of the shed, but I will be there.
Yeah, so I haven't seen this. And it looks like there is a fence on the other side of this shed. So it's not the street. There's another house. Interesting.
About a week, so I will do it then, but there's no windows, there's only one door, and the door latches on the outside, so there's only one way to keep the door closed. So a lot of people were commenting saying, you know, the door opened again, why is the door moving? And that's because the wind is moving the door, and it's been very windy in Florida. Let me know what you think he was doing, because he was looking pretty sus, wandering around like that.
He was trying to win the you know, the boa constrictor catching competition. That's where they keep them.
Are you watching Killing It, Blue? Are you watching Killing It?
No, I know they have a competition that they do catch the boa constrictors.
Have you seen Hot Tub Time Machine?
I've seen it.
You've seen it? I can't remember the guy's name. The bigger guy that comes out in that movie. The has the afro, bigger guy. He's a comedian. Can't think of his name for the life of me.
I remember his name.
But he comes out in a new show. It's on Peacock. It's called Killing It. Freaking hilarious. Recommend it. I've been watching it for the last couple of days. It was awesome. Oh, thank you, Nina. Nina's coming up here. She said, you know, Daniel, it was awesome the other night having me on panel. Thank you. On Monday, we're going to have another panel. I'm going to have somebody come up here first, though. Her name is Steph. She actually has a criminal justice degree and some experience in law enforcement or criminal justice. I can't remember off the top of my head. But she does have some friends that are in the field as well. She's going to come on. We're going to talk about the Brian Koberger case, and then I'm going to open up the panel after that. So you don't want to miss that one. And Nina, if you're in on Monday, you can jump on the panel as well once we open it up. All right. So Jonah Hill or Seth Rogen. I don't think either one of them are in Hot Tub Time Machine. I do like Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill. My favorite movie for the longest time, and probably even now, was Superbad. I thought that was the most hilarious movie in the world. All right, so let's continue. So I think this is the original video that came out. This is guy tries to rob my house, turns out to be a time traveler. Let's check that out.
What looks like rob my house, but it actually turns out he is a time traveler. And let me show you that. I literally can't even make this up. Like if I wanted to make this up, it blows my mind. This just happened yesterday. So as you can see, he's wandering around my backyard. I don't know what he's trying to do. Now he's like thinking like where to go, and he actually ends up going into my shed. So you can see he opens it, goes into the shed. So I'm fast forwarding the time so you can see there's no movement. He never leaves the shed. And I'm talking on the camera. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you in my shed? Never answers. He never leaves the shed. I literally was watching it the whole time. So I end up calling the police. You can see in the last one, the police coming through the front yard. And then here's the police coming into the backyard. And you can see they literally go inside. They go inside and I'm talking to them. Then they go inside again. Like they're inside there. And they come out and he's not there. And like I've been watching this backdoor camera the whole entire time and he never left. I really watched the camera the whole time. He never left. Police didn't see him in there. And like it blows my mind. Like I don't know if there's a tunnel in my shed in the backyard. I don't know if he teleported. I don't know where this guy went or why he went in that shed. Let me know what you think, because
So I mean, he seems like a good actor there. If he's telling the truth, I mean, if he's lying, he could be telling the truth. I don't know. This is the next one that he has. Now, notice this up here, Blue. Cat cut. Well, no. Somebody edited this. That's why they have the words. Never mind. I was like, man, I hadn't noticed that on the other ones. That's an editing software, but I think that's because they put all the. Oh, come on. Wait. That was. So that wasn't. You don't think that right there, Blue, was. That looked natural to you? You don't think he knows where the camera is?
Yeah, it seems a little weird that he's always looking at it.
I mean, he's looking at it and he's smiling at it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm suspicious about a lot of things, guys. I'm suspicious about everything and everyone. And this is the guy that came out with his Taco Bell t-shirt from the future. I don't know, man. But the guy just got in that car. So how long was that car parked there? Like, why don't you show the video from this angle? When did that car get there?
Yeah, and you can see the plates probably if he turns slow enough. So he just edited, man. Like, see? And you can tell it's what, a Lexus?
Yeah, it's a Lexus. That's like a 2010, maybe.
Yeah, the 240 or whatever. The one's like the Camry.
It's got a hat there.
Probably a golf shirt.
I mean, this should be easy to figure out. I don't know, man. How many guys in their 60s tuck in their pants into their shoes like that?
A lot of guys do, man.
In their, well, maybe I'm the old one. All right, so I don't know, man. I don't know. I got one more for you guys, and then I'm gonna tell you guys about the last time traveler topic that we'll discuss briefly. So this is another video from the same guy. I just wanted to show it to you guys. It has nothing to do with time travel, but he captured this. Somebody running into the mailbox. Now I feel like I can laugh at this because one time I was riding my bike and I like to fish, right? And there's this creek I was at, or this river that's in my neighborhood. And on the opposite side of the river, it looked like a pretty good area to fish. So I went to go try to find how to get to that area. So I went through the neighborhood and I was looking through the houses and I didn't notice the parked car right in front of me. Freaking hit it, fell over, landed on the hood and like fucking scorpioned, where my feet literally hit the back of the damn or the top of the hood. And the worst part about it was there was 3 people outside when this happened. One person that was at the house of the car that I hit, they were putting in the groceries, and 4 people, 3 other people that were outside of the house next door. One was a realtor and the other 2 were trying to buy the house, and they all saw everything that happened. It was the most embarrassing thing in my life. But yeah.
Lady right.
Sometimes you run into things, and I've run into a few things on a bike because I was going way too fast and thought I could make it through. and ended up taking a handlebar to the chest. So yeah.
And the last thing I want to say before we go out, and we'll talk about this more on Monday, the last bit of evidence of time travel that's proof that time travel is real. And it's something that's been discussed by a lot of people. Most recently, it's every time that somebody brings up the fact that Brian Koberger's DNA was planted. The only way that that's possible is if time travel is real. So I heard earlier today or the other day that the University of Idaho president, he was sitting in on all of the meetings and stuff, and he knew something. I don't know how that affects the case, but they knew something. They pressured they pressured Moscow Police Department to make an arrest. And that's why they went and framed and planted Brian Koberger's DNA. The only problem is Brian Koberger's DNA off the knife sheath was entered into CODIS pretty soon after the murders happened. So when it was when the University of Idaho pressured Moscow Police Department, it had already been entered into CODIS. So they went back in time and they swapped out the real killer's DNA for Brian Koberger's DNA so that they could arrest him.
Yeah. Especially since that school is an agricultural school, they're going to have time traveling.
Dude, don't you know that all the craziest stuff in science happen in the rural areas of most states?
Well, where do you guess they get all the fuel from? They collect all the cow shit and then they mix it up and generate some real kinetic energy.
Yeah. Well, guys, that was a bit of a joke. Obviously, we'll be back on the true crime stuff on Monday. We're going to be going back and forth between true crime and things like this. This is a little bit more lighthearted. I enjoyed this. You guys have a safe night. I think I'll be back on Sunday for a members only. So if you're not a member, I appreciate you guys hitting that join button. Will you got any final words?
Y'all take care, guys. See you next time.
See y'all next time. Peace.